Damien, biggest win in the Premier Division in 16 years since UCD in 2006. A good night at the office?
Everything we've done this year seems to be in 16 years since 2006. Yeah, listen, a great way to finish off the season, to kill that unfortunate run that we've been on. I don't think the lads have ever been overly stressed with it. Maybe they should have been, but listen, I wasn't. Like I've said all along, the performances have been really, really good, and it's strange that we've gone 11 or had gone 11 without a win. But like I've always said, you perform well, more than likely you'll win games, and we did that tonight.
Did you expect a performance like that? Because it was just the intensity from start to finish with the game well won. Just kept the foot on the neck and didn't let Drogheda.
Listen, I haven't really had to speak to them a lot tonight. Half time, full time before, even yesterday, because of what I said to them on Monday night. So probably tonight's team talk was on Monday night at 9:55. That's why I'm still hoarse.
And aspects of the performance, I suppose, attacking wise, but to come away with a clean sheet, like it's easy to lose concentration when you're cruising. You must be really happy with that aspect as well.
Absolutely, Darren. Listen, it was touched on, of course, we keep a clean sheet. We touched on that half time, be relentless in our work and not taking our foot off the gas. So yeah, it's taking pride obviously with your, like I said, personality and that quality up the top end of the pitch, but keeping the back door shut as well. So just that concentration, they never took their eye off it.
I know you've said you're never going to put Matty Smith under pressure to score goals because of what he brings just in his general play. That was one of his finest performances for us tonight, I think.
Yeah, listen, Matty, again, similar to Boydie on and off the pitch, he's brilliant. I say off the pitch he's quiet, but what I mean by it is just in him signing till the end of the season. I think it gave the lads belief when he walked in the door, and I think it's brought our game onto another level. I think he's a big player in the league, so much quality, and near on every week. I think you've seen it. So yeah, he was brilliant tonight, like you said, but he's been top class nearly every week for us.
Does that feel like the reward of a good run of form? Because while you say like 11 games there to win, the performances have been there, the results maybe haven't always married up with them.
Yeah, listen, a reward you could say. Like I said, you just keep chipping away, working hard, keep training, keep coaching. That's what we do. And listen, of course there was an underlying, like I said, I didn't need to give the team talk tonight or speak a lot because of what I said to them Monday, but also in football lads have the memories of elephants, so there was obviously an edge, an underlying, wants to turn Drogheda over after what happened up there last time. So sometimes you don't need to speak too much as a manager.
I know when we were up in Drogheda, it felt like a lot of the celebrations or the way they celebrated seemed personally directed at you. Tonight, do you think your players showed the kind of fighting spirit that you would have liked to see from them?
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, it was unfortunate up there. What was it, 2 months ago? I think there's a way to win a game, win with respect, humility, etc., etc. So listen, there might have been a little bit of that missing when we went up there. But I'd like to think our lads tonight, yeah, they could have, been in your face or opposition's face with such an amazing win. But that's everything we preach about. Yeah, working hard, being top players, but also everyday life, being respectful, being humble. And I think they showed it even after the final whistle tonight.
And even getting people from the start of the 90 to the end unscathed is going to be really important over the next week. That
was important, yeah. It was good to make the 5 changes and make them early on, and then obviously give the likes of Jack full 90, and you're telling them with half an hour to go, treat this like a pre-season, go, I want more, be relentless in your work. So I think it worked out perfectly, yeah. I think there's a few knocks and bruises, but everybody's fine.
If last week the lads maybe didn't put their hand up for contention for a cup final, it certainly feels like they did tonight.
Hey, listen, maybe I was too much last week on the Monday. Like, when you strip back the game, you watched it back the next day, there was some beautiful stuff, dominating the ball, but it just lacked that real killer edge that maybe the top teams, i.e. what Rovers maybe did to us 3-4 weeks ago, just that relentless, I'm going to do anything to win. I think it lacked that last Monday. Outside of that, with the ball, I think we dominated 800 passes, 70% possession. So I think that shows how far the team has come. We want to dominate the ball, we want to dominate games, and maybe it hasn't happened in the past, but that's where we want to get to. Dominate the game and have that absolute edge that again, sorry to reference it again from a couple of weeks ago, but that's what Rovers did. They just found a way, whatever way possible.
You must be particularly pleased because given on Monday you highlighted the fact that we have struggled at times this year when we've come up against a team and we've had 60%, 70% of the possession and the team is set in against us. We've struggled to break that down. Tonight it was similar with Drogheda, but we didn't have the same struggles.
No, listen, you can talk about formations and what have you, but listen, it was just down to the lads showing ultra quality. I thought Drogheda were for some reason maybe a bit flat as well. They certainly didn't have the edge that they had 2 months ago, that's for sure, whereas we did. And like I just said regarding the Rovers game, sometimes yeah you can dominate games, but if you have an absolute edge to your game, which we did tonight, sometimes that's what happens.
I think if anyone thought that the league games would become dead rubbers and just peter out with an eye on a cup final, are probably proved wrong tonight.
Well listen, I heard that when I first took over, Darren, that you'll pick up points in the last round of games because teams start to just drift and maybe think of their holidays or nothing to play for. You could maybe say we've been drifting because we haven't a lot of points, but our performances have been sky high, and it's a mentality. I talk about it a lot with the lads inside, but it's a mentality and mindset that's not accepted here at Shelbourne Football Club. So regardless what we're ever fighting for, where we are in the league, the last round of games we'll be on it.
And that carrot now, there is an opportunity with a result next Sunday and a result elsewhere to jump up a place in the league table. I know there's been a bit of sliding doors this season where we've had that opportunity a few times. Will that be a big driver come next Sunday?
I think it has to be. I think we've had near on double figure chances, 10 chances to catch Bowes and Sligo, and each time it's like, oof, we trip up. So it's another opportunity, results pending next week. Listen, do I need to reference Bowes going into a Dublin derby next week at Richmond Park? No, it's just performance, and let's have the same again.
A final word on the fans tonight. Obviously it's our last home outing of the season before the cup final and away next week. What has it meant for you, being at Tolka this year, the displays, the noise, the colour, and the way the fans have taken to you and your team?
Oh, listen, it means an awful lot. I think sometimes you can just feel maybe the togetherness. You walk into the stadium, and the owner here tonight, he actually gave a team talk tonight before the game in our pre-match meeting. Maybe it was Andrew's team talk that they got the 6 goals, but even from the top down to the bottom, staff, players, like I said, the board, the fans, the kitmen, just everybody, you can feel that. You guys, there is a togetherness, and if we're going to go places again, we have to be together. So I haven't really tried to create that. It just maybe happened organically, just because we're good, honest, working people, everybody here, and that's maybe why it's a good fit.
Damien, thanks for everything.
Thanks, Darren.
Shane, the 6-0 win to round off the home campaign. How do you feel after that one?
Yeah, a bit of relief, I suppose, really. I suppose it's been something that's been spoken about within the group. The last time we won a league game, I suppose, and share that with our last home game in front of our fans before, Aviva in a few weeks. We really wanted to win this one, and we wanted to almost put down a marker, I suppose, and we done it in style in the end, so it was a great night.
Yeah, it's the first league win in 11, I think it is, and the manager mentioned it last week in his post-match. He wasn't happy, and it was something that we needed to address, that we're playing well, but it's not translating to wins. What was the week like in training? Because the manager was quite fiery here last week with the performance. So what was the training like for the week?
Yeah, no, he can be fiery like that, but he's just because he cares so much, and he wants us to do well. So he came into training, and I suppose the attitude was just heads down, go again. That's what we've been doing all year. It's just if a good result, bad result, we always just go back and work hard and train hard. So that's how we spent the week this week, and we spoke about, as I said, finishing the season off at Tolka strong, and thankfully we did.
It was probably a nice game to go into, in that there was a lot of needle when we played Drogheda away. There was a lot of fuss made after it. Fuss about nothing really, but there was a bit of needle at the start of the game. We just kind of blew them away after. I just thought it showed performance and how we kind of nailed them to the post the way we did.
Yeah, I think we started quick. I think we looked lively, and we came out the traps quick, and I think the lads up front were brilliant tonight. Obviously scoring 6 goals, but I think we had loads of chances, and loads of corners, set pieces, and I think they troubled their back four all night, and it's great, and you're defending and you get the ball to the other end of the pitch, and you can see them work their magic, so we were delighted.
The manager singled you out the week before last, saying that you've grown into the season. the start maybe was in and out a little bit, but as the season's gone on, you've just grown and grown and grown. Probably when you came here, everyone expected you to be a left fullback or a left wing back. You've settled into that kind of, you played all across that back three. How's that change been for you?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a new position, I suppose, really. So I've had a lot of learning. Like, I think at the start, it did take some getting used to. You're working with Joey O'Brien every day, and that's there's no one better really to learn off. Like, and he's giving you tips, and he's he's a brilliant coach. Like, so him along with the rest of the coaching staff, I suppose, have been a huge help. But it's been great. I think every game I've got better and better this year. Like, so it's brilliant.
You're obviously a left-sided player. You've had to play on the right side of that back three. You've played the middle of it a couple of times. But how good is it to be on that left side of the tree? Does it make your life a lot easier?
It does, I suppose. Yeah, it does. But look, I actually don't mind. I probably, again, when I went over to the right for the first time, I probably wasn't used to it. But again, I got a few games under the belt, and I felt like a bit more comfortable there. So once I'm in the team, really, like we've really good competition in the back three, all across the team, but in the back three, so it's once you're on the pitch, you're ready to do a job, and it's great to be in the team.
Something else that's come about is that anytime Luke doesn't play, you take on the armband. How important is it for you? Obviously, it's a massive club here and we're on the up and we're going good places. It must be nice to wear that armband.
Oh, it's a great honour, yeah. I spoke to the gaffer in pre-season and he mentioned it, and it's probably not something I've done before. I think I've done it once, maybe back in Cork City. Luke's the leader of the group. He's the captain of the group, and he's one of the best I've come across. Like, really, he's brilliant. So just to step in when he's on the pitch is great.
Looking forward to next week now. It's a strange one, and that's the last. It's obviously finishes off the league campaign, but you do have the Aviva to worry about. These games are kind of, there's obviously league positions to play for, but does it creep into the back of your head that we're going to the Aviva next week? I don't want to pull up, or I don't want anything to happen. Is that an issue during the week, or have the staff been quite clear that it's not an option?
Yeah, well, I think we say it to each other it's not an option, but maybe in the back of your mind you're thinking it. But once the game starts, really, like you're thinking, I'm going to slow down here, or I'm not going to go in here. The whole team's the same. Everyone plays 100%, and it's kind of hard to come off that. And if you do come off it, to go back up to 100% again for the final, it's quite tough. So we kind of spoke about that, about staying on it and being ready.
You've a good track record in the Aviva, it's pretty fair to say that. How important are you going to be in the run up to that game for younger players like Gavin Malloy and those other young lads dotted around? How important will you and Clarkey, the likes of lads who've been there, much influence do you think you can have on those younger players in the build up to the cup final? Yeah,
I suppose it's just little bits of advice and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'll have butterflies in my belly, like it's something you'll never get used to, really. I suppose a cup final, and I suppose it's little tips here and there about how I felt when I first went there, and obviously I've won and I've lost in the Aviva, so I know the difference in the feeling of both. So hopefully we come out on top on the day. For you personally, you obviously got your new contract as well last week, the week before. What made you stay? What made you put your name on the dotted line? I'm just really enjoying it. Really enjoy coming into training every day. The environment's brilliant. It really is. It's a great group of lads, and we just work hard. Everyone just built on hard work, and I didn't really have to think much about it. I wanted to stay straight away when the gaffer spoke to me about it. So it was a simple decision, really. Brilliant, Shane. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Thank you. Cheers.